Alright guys, we're going to be working on tile sets. So if you'll look down here in the bottom left, I have a folder with sprites in it. Inside of this folder I have a bunch of pictures and sprites I loaded for you guys to use just in case you don't have your own stuff. So you can find those pictures on Neo. You can download it. Here's where it is. Under tower defense stuff, you'll click the tower defense assets and you can just download this whole pack here. And as well, there's also going to be code for things like Path 2D. We're not doing that right now, but the code I'm just going to start putting here, and the videos that I make or find or that we're going to use for this series are also going to be, everything's going to be in this spot here. So download the tower defense assets and put those into your game folder. And we're going to get started with making our first tile set, which will allow us to draw stuff fairly quickly. Alright, so let's do a new 2D scene. And this is going to be grass, dirt, tile set. I don't know. You can give it whatever name you want. So, but this is the grass and dirt tile set. And I'm going to add a sprite to this. I'm going to turn this off so you guys don't stay up with me. Okay, so I added a sprite. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to look into that pack of pictures that I have for you guys. Look under tiles. And you are looking for one that's called tower defense tiles. So drag and drop that picture into the texture, and now you have a huge picture that clearly isn't just one thing. It is a bunch of different things, and each one of these tiles is 64 by 64. Now you are going to need to know that. So it's basically set up into 64 by 64 boxes. Now over on the right hand side, go to region and turn on region. We want to look at a certain section of this picture at a time. So enable region. And it looks like the picture disappeared, but we just basically didn't tell it where we wanted it to look yet. So if you'll hit texture region, yours is going to look like this when it starts out. It starts out with a none. So obviously you're going to hit snap mode and grid snap. When you turn grid snapping on, yours is set to 10 by 10. Change it to 64 by 64 right there, and that's going to put this nice grid that matches up with the size of the tiles. You can see that it's exactly the right size of what it needs to be, 64 pixels by 64 pixels. Alright, now if you click and drag, you can see your picture will start coming back. But we're gonna slice these things up into tiles that we can use. We're gonna use the tiles from here to here. And so I'm gonna start with one of those tiles, the top left. Then I'm going to select the sprite here, and I'm gonna hold Control and I'm going to press D. That made a copy of that picture, and I can move it. And I can select a new slice. I also want to make these move on a grid so I can line them up easier. So at the top middle, turn on snapping. And right next to that, there's 3 dots. Click that and do configure snap. I did 16 by 16. You can do other ones, but this seems to work well. Okay. So now when you move them around, they tend to snap, and it's easier to line them up. So I'm going to repeat this process. I'm going to click on this picture. I'm going to do Control D, and it made a copy of that. I'm just going to move it over and then select a new section for it to view. And then I'm just going to repeat this process until I get all of those tiles selected. So here we go. And You can do like several of them at a time. You don't have to do one. You could like, uh-oh, I didn't mean to turn that. You can do several of them at a time and then go back and choose which tile you want. So anyway, trying to do it fast so make the video shorter, but anyway, I'm just selecting all the tiles right there. There, that's all we wanted right there. These are going to be the floor for our tower defense game. So I'm going to save this scene. You'll notice that in my file structure over here, I've actually made folders for each thing. All my scenes are saved here. Scripts are saved here. Pictures or sprites are saved in here. And tile sets. So the first thing I'm going to, or what I need to do now is save this scene. So I'm doing Control S will bring that up since this is the first time I'm doing that. I'm saving this in the online tutorial section under scenes. You can save yours wherever you'd like in your folder. So this is the grass dirt tile set, and I'm going to save that. Now I want to make a tile set for this. So how you do that is this scene is the tile set basically. So if you wanted to add more tiles, you could come back to this scene, add some more tiles, and then reconvert it. But this is going to be one of my tile sets. So I'm going to go to scene, and I'm going to convert this scene into a tile set. Now I need to choose where I'm going to save it. Like I said, I have folders for each thing, so it's going to save it in the tile sets folder under my online tutorial. So grass, dirt, tiles. I will save this. Now I have, this is now saved as a tile set. So this scene was only made for creating the floor of my next map. So let's go ahead and create our map so where we can actually draw our scene. So I'm going to add a new scene. It's going to be a 2D scene, and I'm just going to call this level 1. I'm going to save this as well, so Control S. And this is going in my online tutorial scenes, and this is level 1. Save. You could also call it Balloon Tower Defense level 1 or whatever. Now we want to pull up that tile set so we can start drawing. So click on level 1, and you're looking for a new node. So hit the plus sign, and you're looking for a tile map node. So tile map, all one word, tile map. Now just like you add a texture into a sprite, you're going to need to add a tile set into this tile map. So over here on the right it says tile set, go to load, and then under your tile sets over here where we saved that, we're just going to want to locate the one we just made, grass dirt tiles. Open that. I don't know if I said this, make sure when you're saving and converting your tile set that it's saved as .tres. If it's not saved as .tres, it's not going to work correctly. So I have opened up this, and now you can see I have like a little palette over here with a bunch of different pieces of tiles that I can use. If I select one and then I left click, it's going to start drawing with those tiles. If I right click, it will delete tiles. So I am just going to start making a path for my balloons to follow in this tower defense game that we're making. And I'll show you some cool stuff here. You can use this button here to rotate the tile. So like I want this one, maybe, I don't know, maybe this one. Okay, and then I can use this one to rotate it back. I can also use this one to flip it 90 degrees horizontally, or no, vertically, and then this one's horizontally. So there's some useful stuff here. Using a tile set makes it much faster for drawing your map, and it just makes your life easier in general. Okay. Alright. So I'm just going to make a simple map to start with, and then we'll use it for the tutorials as they go along. So I'm just drawing, right, and you'll get faster at it. I'm kind of slow at, you know, seeing what pieces I need and where they go. But this is 100 times faster than trying to do it without a tile set. Need this side piece here, and I need that one. Okay, I don't know, something like that. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Alright. Now, if you're still watching, if you use G, you can fill in squares. And then if you push P, it'll go back to drawing regular. So I'm just filling in just my map. Just filling it in. Okay. Also need to add just P will go back to drawing normally. Alright, so this is pretty much all you wanted to do for your first for this video. We've drawn a floor, we have our map, and it looks pretty good. So I will see you in the next video.